Hi friends, welcome to this unboxing of the Nokia Lumia 525. The predecessor to this phone, the Lumia 520, met with astounding success. So much so that every third of all the Windows phones now is a Lumia 520. In a sense, it was destined to be popular. And what else can you expect of a phone with a dual-core processor, and that of the great variety, mind you? A 5-megapixel camera complete with HD recording, and a smooth operating system that grows by the day, all at a tempting price of less than 10,000 Indian rupees. The 525 now retains all of that and adds an interesting 1 GB of RAM to the mix. It means it's now playing more apps than the 520. There's nothing interesting around the box except for this picture of Asphalt 8 reiterating the fact that this phone can take all games you throw at it from the marketplace. Anyways, enough talking, let's just unbox the Lumia 525. And hopefully that helps to pull the phone out. Okay, it does. And that's our Lumia 525. The problem with buying the phones as early as possible is that you get the phone in only black color. But anyway, apart from specifications, the look and feel is very identical to the 520. We'll get to the phone a little later. Let's complete the unboxing. There's a quick start guide, a few pages. Also present is a USB wall charger, which is not detachable, so you need a separate USB cable for data syncing. There are earphones as well, the basic ones that Nokia provides. Oh, and you do have another USB cable, so the box is kind of complete despite the lower price. And finally there is the battery, which is I believe a 1430 mAh unit. Yes, it is. So no change in the battery capacity either. But there's just one place for the battery. Let me just open the back cover. Looks a little stubborn. Yes, it's a little stubborn, but that's a price you'll have to pay for a good seal. There I put the battery. So before we close it, there are two slots on the lower left. On the top there is a micro SIM card slot, and below that there is a slot for a memory card. The entire thing fits rather securely. Let's complete the first boot and I'll be back once it's done. If you've already seen the Lumia 520, this one's exactly similar. The good thing about having the same design, or rather the same body, is that you already have the screen guard and the protection guards of the phone available, and a good collection of them. For the record, there is a 5-megapixel camera at the back with Nokia branding. The right is where it gets really busy with the volume rockers, the power unlock button, and the camera shutter button. At the top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack. At the bottom there is USB data syncing and charging port. The screen is probably the same panel as on the Lumia 520. It's not necessarily a bad thing, given it has decent brightness and viewing angles. The contrast does not look great, very unlike some of the Lumia phones with a black background and the bezel around it become almost seamless. In terms of specifications, this phone has a dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor clocked at 1 GHz and an Adreno 305 for handling graphics, quite an asset at this price point. There's also 1 GB of RAM. The snapper at the back can shoot in 5 megapixels resolution and record HD videos as well. Hardware aside, it benefits on the sea of software improvements Nokia has been providing to its flagship phones. Nokia Lumia 525 runs on Windows Phone 8 with the Nokia Black update. One of the few, or just maybe one of the two things that separate this and the 520 at the moment. Don't expect Nokia glance screen on this device, just like there wasn't any for its predecessor. But you do have the Nokia Beamer and the Nokia camera, which bring Nokia Pro functionality to the Lumia 525. It doesn't come pre-installed, however, and has to be downloaded from the marketplace. Speaking of the marketplace, the only other difference with the Lumia 520 can be spotted there. Let's just open to the games section and the best rated ones. So as you can see, games like the Subway Surfers and Temple Run 2, for example, and a few of the popular games as well, are supported only on 1 GB of RAM. There are a few other grievances that have been addressed with Nokia Black. You have the option to turn off screen rotation if you so like. Also, under the ease of access, one can increase the text size to suit oneself. This does not increase or change the system font size, but anyways, it does change the font size in a variety of applications. You also have the double tap to magnify option, which can be handy in a number of places. Before we wind up, a look at what Nokia feels is important for the Windows Phone experience. There are the stock tiles that you get. Apart from your core phone applications, there is the Office app, which is definitely one of the USPs of the Lumia devices. Competing Android devices do have alternative options for displaying documents, etc., but none is as smooth as on the Lumia 525. A few Nokia proprietary applications. Smartcam can obviously do a lot of trickery. Here Maps can provide offline navigation. And there's also the Beamer app, which I was talking about earlier. This one generates an online link which can be accessed by any device to display the screen of the Lumia 525. Coming almost about 10 months later, Lumia 520 was released. The Lumia 525 still stands out as one of the most smoothest and most fluid phones for the price it comes, which is currently about 10,000 Indian rupees. The 1 GB of RAM isn't really a game changer, but in the hindsight, apart from making a few games available, it does make the phone a little more future-proof than the Lumia 520. But given that it's about all the difference there is between the 525 and the 520, is the 2000 premium that you pay worth it? More on this on the upcoming review. Stay tuned for that. On that note, this is Smriti signing off. Goodbye.